All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited that everyone's here. Hopefully, a few more people will hop on because today's success meetup is something that I'm excited to do because if you don't know anything about my background, I used to do virtual assistant work for real estate agents before I started working for Inside Real Estate. And what I'm about to show you today is an update to KV Core that I have been asking for since that day, since those days when I was doing that kind of work, because I really think it's going to help everybody get all of their leads and their contacts on all the automation that really drives business and really drives the platform. So I'm really excited to kind of show you guys the changes that we've made. And it's kind of funny, when you're on the other side of things, you're like, well, they should really do this and they should really do that. And then you go work for the company and you're like, oh, that's why we didn't do that. Or, oh, that's what it takes to do that. So I learned a lot on that score, but I really pushed to get this through, and I'm really glad that it's here. So today we are going to be talking about, I'll share my screen back, um, some of the new options for search alerts and market reports in KV Core. And if you are watching this later on YouTube and you want to see these sessions live, this is a success meetup. We do these on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, usually at 11:30 Pacific, 2:30 Eastern. You can go ahead and scan this QR code and you can register for any of the future events. And this recording, as well as all of our past recordings, are all on our Inside Real Estate YouTube channel. And we also try and post them up into our Facebook channel as well after the fact. Okay, that's my spiel. And I'm going to share my other screen and we're going to talk about all the fun new things. And if anybody has any questions while we're going through this, do not hesitate to just throw them in the chat or in the Q&A and I will try and get to them as we go. Okay, share screen. This guy right here is the screen I want to share. Okay, so there's been a couple changes to the way that we do market reports and listing alerts and even listing valuations, actually. So we're going to go through all those today. And I think I know I'm really excited about it. So we should definitely, hopefully you are excited about it as well. So the first thing is that we've made some changes to the way that you can import leads. So when you're importing your leads with KV Core and you've got a whole list of leads you want to import, and you want them to be on a listing alert, you would have to, in the past, and this is actually still true. Let's go here and find the import template. That we use. So if you want to find the import template, actually, you can go here and you can get the import template for the US or for Canada. They're different. So you want to make sure you have them for your right area that you're in. And when you do that, this is the USA one. You're going to make a copy of it because you can't have ours. And I'm going to go to the commonly used fields. When you're putting in all of your information, all the way over at the very end, there are two very important columns that you have to have entered. If these are filled out, so your area and a price, automatically you will get a listing alert set up for that contact for this area. And the price will be the median price, so we'll go above and below that price in kind of a range. And there's an algorithm that we use. So like if the price is like $100,000, the range is going to be smaller than if it's $1 million, it's going to be bigger because obviously the more higher up it is, the more people have to play with as far as money goes. So that's what that will do. But the other thing that we did not used to do is set up a market report for you upon import. And now, if you have this column filled out, we can do that. So if you are doing it, if you're submitting the file to us to let us handle it and you're submitting the file, When you do this, you can, you have to answer a bunch of questions for us of where we're putting these leads and what's going on. Um, but what you can do is down in the automations, now, do you want to have the search alerts on? Yes. If so, you've got to have area and price filled out. But now it's like, do you want to have market reports? And market reports will be sent every month for the area that's in the area column. So you can say, yes, add market reports for the area. The other thing that you can do now is you can automatically set people up on a listing valuation. So that's going to run off the primary address field. So back to the template here. When you're putting in their primary address, as long as that's filled out, we can set them up with a listing valuation that will send them what their home is worth once a month. Now, I just want to caution you guys on a couple of things. One is that if you've ever seen our market reports or our listing valuations, they look almost identical with the exception of a listing valuation is going to have, hey, this is what your home is worth across the top. And then it will have the market report underneath it with comparables. If you're just doing a market report, it'll just have a market report. So I kind of caution against doing both. I think it's kind of overkill because it's pretty redundant. So I would do one or the other if I were you as we go through all of this. Another great point is that if you do a listing valuation and you don't like what it tells you, because it is a computer generated thing, like we're doing our best guess based on like what Zillow says and what like CoreLogic says and what a couple different feeds tell us. If you're like, that's not right, I don't like that at all, I would opt out of doing the listing valuation for that person and instead just do a market report because it's pretty much the same thing. You're just not giving them a price at that point. So just kind of a little aside to go off of there. So, so those are the things you can do now. It used to be this is the only thing you could do. Now we can do market reports and we can do listing valuations if you want. Okay, so that's if you're sending it to us, but what if you're doing it yourself? If you're doing it yourself, you're going to have to add a file. Do I have a file is the real question again. Yeah, that's not a good one. It's a good one here. No. I've done a few. How about this guy? No. Let me see. CSV. Forgot I have to give it a file before I can show you what this does. Try to find a file. Maybe this one. Why not? Well, let's do this then. I'll just take this file right here. And let's just say that we have these people in here. I'm going to export it as a C. You want to always export as a CSV file. And then it might be mad at me because I've tried to do a bunch of different files. So I'm going to try one more time just to reload. There we go. Yay. Okay, so what it will do is it's going to pull in all the information. And then you're going to say, okay, this looks right. And you're going to hit next. And it's going to match up the fields. Now, if you use our template, it should match them all up for you, which it did. But here, under send listing valuations, this is where you would say, yes, I want the listing valuations to be set up. And under search alerts, if there is a area and price, remember, so you need to have area and you need to have price. You can also say, yes, I want market reports to be set up for them. So you can choose what you want to do when you're importing. And then it'll all happen upon import, and you don't have to go back through and add market reports or listing alerts or listing valuations to any of the people that you've imported. So that's the first change, is that upon import, we can set up all three of those as opposed to just search alerts like we used to do. Before I move on, does anybody have any questions about the import side of things? Okay. All right, so the second thing that's really cool is that if you go into and a contact and you want to set them up on a search alert, now it's a little different. You'll see it looks different. It will tell you what the alert is. You can, from here, without even clicking in, go to the results. You can edit it, or you can now, praise the Lord, delete it if you want instead of just turning it off. I'm going to go to somebody who doesn't have one. Let's see. Right here. So when you're adding a new search alert now, we're going to click add. You can now give your alert a title. And before, you could set up 2 search alerts. Now you can set up to 5 search alerts. So if people are looking in different areas, or they're just completely different alerts. Maybe they're an investor and they're looking for a couple different things, and want to set up a bunch of different alerts for them. You can do up to 5 now instead of 2, which is excellent. You can also name them, which is also great, because then you can see, heck, what was that alert? So this alert might be, so this person, let's see. Let's add, need to add an address to this person to kind of show you. I don't remember what this is hooked up to as far as the MLS here. Give me just a second. We will do this one right here. 22 Lorna Lane. Let's say this person lives at 22 Lorna Lane. In New York. So if we do that, let's say this person is let's say he's a homeowner and he's going to sell his home, but he also is looking for a new home, right? So this is an instance where you might do 2 separate listing alerts. The first listing alert you're going to do, so you would take, and this is also a very good listing alert to do for anyone who owns their home, regardless if they're looking to move, because it just keeps an eye on their neighborhood for you. So you would take their address, you would go to add a search alert, and you would say, you might call this neighborhood watch, right? Now they're not going to see this, only you're going to see what this is called. And then you're going to go to draw it on the map. And if you put their address in, it's going to kind of zoom into a little bit into their area. And if you just keep hitting the plus sign, it'll go all the way down to their street. So it looks like this person lives right here. Okay. So probably this might be their neighborhood. Maybe this is their neighborhood. You know, you can draw an area right around their house, because I bet you dollars to donuts that if a house comes up for sale, even if they're not planning to sell anytime, and one of their neighbors down the street lists their home, they want to know about it, and you want to be the one to tell them about it, because it keeps you top of mind with them. Hey, this is the real estate agent in my life. They keep an eye on my neighborhood forever. And once you set this up forever now, anytime anyone lists their home in that neighborhood, they're going to get an alert about it. And I highly recommend that you set this up for every homeowner that you have in your database, whether they're looking to sell or not. So I'm going to apply that. Now, The other thing you can do is you can change the subject line now. So there's two different options. Option A is a dynamic subject line. And this is actually recommended most of the time because if you put in a subject line, it's going to be that same subject line every single time. And it has the chance of going to spam because you keep sending the same email with the same address, especially if they're not opening that, or excuse me, the same subject line, especially if they're not opening their emails. Now, if you're working with somebody really closely and they're opening the emails all left and right, and you set up two different ones because they're looking in these two different cities and they want to see in the subject line which one it is, go ahead and do the regular subject line. It's not going to be a problem. But if it's somebody you don't know and you're not sure if they're going to open stuff yet, you might want to do the dynamic subject line because what it does is the beginning of it changes, like new properties for, or we found new things for, or we have about 4 different ones that cycle through. And like one of the property addresses gets put in the subject line too. So it's always different, which helps with your deliverability. In this case, this isn't going to happen that often. We chose a very small area, right? So a neighbor might list their house, once every couple of months, you might get that, maybe once a year. So in this case, it's kind of okay to do a subject line that's static. Plus, these dynamic subject lines are more about people looking for homes. And so when I'm doing kind of a neighborhood watch one is what I call it. I like to tell them that that's what it is. So I say, um, I would say one of your neighbors just listed their home, right? And if I see that in my inbox, I want to be like, yeah, who's that? I want to go see that house and see how much it sells for and whatever. So you can put a subject line in there. And then you can put your frequency and do everything else that you would normally do when you're setting up a listing alert. If I'm doing a neighborhood watch, I'm doing it ASAP because, like I said, it's only going to happen every so often. If you're doing it for somebody that you don't know and you're not even sure if they're looking or whatever, you might want to do it once a week or something. So not to bombard them with every single listing that comes on the market 5 times a day. Okay. So then you would set that alert. And now we have, nothing came up because it was a very small area. Makes sense. Now we have this search alert. Now you can add another one if you want. So maybe this is where they live, but they're looking in another part of town. They have a totally different thing. So new house alert, you could say, just so you know kind of which one is which. And you might do this once a week instead, because maybe they're not like actively looking right now. They're just thinking about a move and they just want to keep an eye on what's out there. And maybe they're looking in, pulls up some area. They're looking in New York. Is that part of my MLS? Yeah, they're looking in New York. They're moving to the big city, right? And they want however many beds, like two beds and whatever you want to say that they want. And then again, you're going to set that alert. And I kept that dynamic subject line because you're going to be sending it a lot and you might definitely want that subject line to change. And look, there's all of these results in New York, basically for 2 bedrooms. Okay. And you could just keep adding if you wanted to. Like I said, you can add up to 5 now, which is awesome. So I really like that you can edit it from here. So if you click edit, you can go in and edit it. You want to delete it, you can delete it. Before you just had to turn it off. Could never delete it. You could just change it to something else if you wanted, but you couldn't delete it, which I didn't like. So now it's totally deletable. You're like, yeah, I don't want this one. It's like, okay, bye-bye. Now I only have the one. Does anybody have any questions on that score? Okay. The last thing I want to show you guys is that now, before, I always say to people, the number one driver of traffic back to your website and starter of conversations is listing alerts. If you don't have one, property alert, listing alert, we're going to call it. If you don't have one on somebody, it's a problem, right? Now, again, if they are somebody who's not looking, I would draw right around their house. Okay. But if there's somebody that's, let's say they came in and you don't know what they're looking for, there's somebody that you've never even talked to or heard of before, I would make a very general alert for them, be it your county, be it your city, whatever kind of the area is. And if they don't like it, a lot of times they'll tell you, like, hey, I don't know why you're sending this to me. I'm looking in such and such. Oh, okay, I'll change it. And you just started the conversation, but you're sending them something, right? Or if they came in off a property boost ad, they should actually get a listing alert automatically set up. But, if they look at a specific property or they came in off of a I don't know, landing page that offered something that had to do with your area. Like I know we had just done a landing page that was for a relocation guide, right? And so it was for Portland relocation guide. Well, they're looking to move to Portland, at least send them an alert for Portland, right? Okay, so it used to be that if they didn't have an alert, you'd have to go in one by one and add an alert. Or you would have to go to a hashtag triggered alert and then add that hashtag to all those people. Now you can add a search alert en masse to whoever you want to. But before you do it, you've got to set up your search alert first. So if you go to your marketing and you go to search alerts right here, I already have some in here, but I'm going to go through how to create one. So let's say that I want to create one like just for whoever has, I just don't know what they're looking for, but I know I live in New York. And so I want them to get everything in New York. So my hashtag might be New York General Alert. And again, same thing, you can set up a dynamic subject line or a custom subject line. I'm going to stick with dynamic for this. And I want this to be New York. And maybe I want it to be, only just condos and there's no land in New York, I'm sure. Maybe I don't deal with multifamily. Maybe I just want condos and single family and townhomes or something. I mean, obviously whatever it is that makes sense for your area, what most people are looking for. I could put in a price range if I wanted to, but again, this is pretty general. So you can just add this alert and now you have an alert for New York. That's pretty general, right? A search alert title. Oh, this is the best part. So the title is New York General Alert. So now general alert. So now you know that this is my general alert. This is the alert I put everybody on if I just don't know what they're looking for or I have no idea what's happening with this person, right? So I'm going to add that alert. Now, if I go back to my CRM and I'm going to filter for, let's say, what my clients are, just new leads and active leads, maybe prospects that do not have a search alert. So all these people have no search alert set up. I'm going to say, okay, I want all of these people in one fell swoop to get a search alert. And it's going to tell me 5 of them aren't going to get it because they don't have an email address. That's how we send search alerts. But 5 of them will. So I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to search all my alerts that I have set up. I want the New York General Alert to go out. Done. And now all of these people will get that alert. It takes, just like if you were to do it the old way with the hashtag, it can take up to 48 hours for that to populate. So don't freak out if like I added it, but they still don't have an alert set up. depending on how many people that, like, if you did it to like 10,000 people, it's going to take that 48 hours to get everybody on those search alerts. So don't worry about that. If it didn't happen after 48 hours, then you could come back and ping support or something, but it should. So now you can do that. So think about all of the different hashtags you have in your system. Like it might be cities, it might be types of homes people are looking for, filter for those hashtags, look, see who doesn't have an alert. And then in one fell swoop, yeah, everybody that was looking for waterfront, pull all the waterfront homes, make an alert for waterfront homes, and in one fell swoop, get all of those people on a waterfront listing alert or whatever it may be, because that's going to be your number one driver back to your website, and number one conversation starter will be those alerts. Okay. So I'm really excited that we have these now, that we can do it in mass, that you can do it upon import, and that you can have more than one or more than two, sorry, and you can name them and you can change the subject, and all of those things are brand new. It just happened this past week. And so you will see those changes in your system. And I just want to show you guys all that because I was pretty excited about it. So does anyone have any questions about anything related to this? And then if not, I can open up for questions about anything at all related to kvCORE. Anybody? All right, any questions other than anything at all kvCORE related? You have a question about how to do something, or you want me to show you where to find something, or you're having an issue or anything? Happy to help. Yay, here comes them. Oh, no questions, but great updates. Oh, you're welcome, Eileen. I'm glad you like the updates. See, somebody has got their hand raised. Phyllis. Go ahead, Phyllis. What do you got to say? You'll have to unmute yourself.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself.
Totally fine. What's up?
In the beginning you showed us that when you download all your people and that they do, now it's automatic that they do the market reports and sellers report. Now, what if you're already established and have all your contacts in kvCORE? Can you get that automatically done for them to get, all your contacts to get the market report or sellers report?
Yes. I'm so glad you said that because that was something I was going to touch on and I totally forgot.
I thought you were going to do it after you were done with downloading. And then I was like, oh, she didn't say anything, so I let you go. Okay.
Yes.
I almost let you go.
And I'm so glad you didn't.
Okay, good.
Okay, hang on. All right, here we go. So now, right here, market report and valuation settings. This is where you can do it. So if you have a new address, do you want the listing valuation to get set up automatically? Yes or no? And if you have, when someone either views a listing, if they view any listing, then for that area that listing is in, we can set up the market report. Or you can say, and I like this one better. If the lead has no listing valuation or market report, but it does have a search alert, you can set up a market report for the area of interest indicated by the search alert, if that makes sense. So this does not work if you did a map search. It only works if you actually put an area into the area slot when you're making the alert. So if you made an alert for New York and you toggle this on, everybody that's got an alert for New York is also going to get a market report for New York, unless they have a listing valuation already set up. Because remember what I told you, it's kind of redundant to send both. Or they already have a market report for something else, right? But this is how you do it right now. I will say that I still am campaigning for us to have it here in mass, like add market report, whatever. That didn't make it into kind of this round of updates, but I know that it's being pursued and looked at. But for right now, that's what you would do. So you're going to go into marketing, you're going to go here, and you can toggle any or all of these on, and then that should work. So I have a question. It says, would you recommend setting up a property alert or subdivision market reports for sellers? I heavily farm a large subdivision. Which would you think would be more beneficial to prospect for seller clients? Honestly, I would do both. I would do the property alert because if you think about it, anytime someone lists their home, they're going to get a notification. If you do a market report, it just gives kind of a snapshot of the neighborhood. So kind of it gives a bunch of stats, it does all that, but it doesn't say like this house just listed. It might show like the last one that listed, but I don't know, it's only going to happen once a month unless you set it up for every week or something, which is kind of obnoxious. So I would probably do a property alert, draw it around the neighborhood, or if your neighborhood pulls in your MLS, you can just do a property alert for that neighborhood. And then I would do a market report for the neighborhood. If you have their actual address, then I would do a listing valuation instead of the market report, if that makes sense. So the alert is just when somebody lists the house, it's just that house going out. The market report and the listing valuation are what are very similar. And so you'd want to do one or the other. So if you actually have their address, I might just do that listing valuation and not the market report because the market report will come inside of that valuation. If you don't have their home address, I would do just the market report plus the listing alert for that neighborhood. If that makes sense. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? It doesn't have to be about this. It could be anything KV Core related at all. Are you sure we've got time left? I know you guys have been like typing into support, waiting for an answer. I can help you. What do you got? There's Phyllis again. I love it. What do you got for me, Phyllis?
I pretty much have my contacts in my KV Core. Oh gosh. Oh, I forgot what I was going to ask you now. Wait a second. Oh my gosh, I just totally lost me.
That's okay. Think about it.
You picked up on that, huh?
My whole family's from the East Coast.
Oh, that's funny. I live in a community and I would like the people in my sphere that are from this community get like a market report. Do I have to pick? I would have to pick and choose them, huh? Like you can't just give your whole sphere. I think I asked this already. A market report, right? Everybody in your CRM.
Well, you cannot. You can give everyone a market report, which would be
right there, right?
but not just only your sphere. And then whoever is in your sphere, they would have to have a area in their listing alert set up. So what you could do is you could go to your contacts.
Yeah.
You could go to sphere. You could take everyone in your sphere and add them to a search alert for that area. And then as long as this is turned on, then they're going to get that market report as well for that area.
Now, how did you turn that on again? You went into marketing, yeah, that's right, marketing
marketing, and then market report and valuation settings.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. Okay, I'll do it that way. Thank you so much. Now that's
clear. You're very welcome.
Okay, have a good day, hon.
You too.
Thanks for everything. Okay, bye.
Awesome. Anybody else have any questions? Barbara. You are muted, Barbara. There you go. What you got for me? Barbara, you there? I cannot seem to hear you. But you did put in here, I could not map an area no matter how hard I tried. What am I doing wrong? I don't know what you're doing wrong. Barbara, do you want to share your screen with us, or do you want, actually, I don't think you can share your screen on a webinar. I take that back. I can pop into your account if you want me to do that. Yeah. Go ahead. You can talk, Barbara. I mean, you're not muted. I'm not sure, but you might not have a, okay, pop into your account. Let's do that. Give me a second here to get into your account. Hang on. I gotta find you. Carol wants to ask a question. Hang on just a second. So I'm gonna give me a second to get into Barbara's account, and then go ahead, Carol, while I'm waiting.
Okay.
Hi, Carol. What's up?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Could you show me where I know you just showed someone the market to do a squeeze page or either a landing page. Is it possible that you can kind of help me with that? I've been struggling trying to do it and printed all of the paperwork out, but it just
I sure can.
thank you.
Give me just let me
Okay.
follow up with Barbara real
Sure,
fast and
sure.
set
Take your
her
time.
account,
Thank you
and then we'll
so
go back
much. Thank you. Take your
to.
time.
All right, Barbara, I'm going to go to your Smart CRM, and then is there any one of these you want me to do this for, Barbara? You can just type it in if you can't. I don't know why I can't hear you. Jay Falconer. Okay. So Jay, so you want to do it around his address, I'm assuming. So if we take his address and we hit add, and then we draw it on the map, we put it in. And then we just kind of go down. So he is on Zinnia. So he must be Zinnia. Where is Zinnia? Oh, there it is. This little guy right there. Okay. So like if you wanted to do right around his area there, I would draw area. So you want to make sure that you click, you pull over, and you click again, go up here. And then you really want to make sure that it connects and that it's gray. And then you have to hit apply. And then you should be good to go. That makes sense. And so I would say neighborhood watch. You could say, hi, Jay. One of your neighbors just listed their home. Make sure I spelled that right. And set the alert. You're very welcome. Okay. So now let's get out of here. I'm gonna go back to my account. And okay, so let's see. Carol wants to know, Carol, did you want to know how to do a squeeze page or landing page or both?
If you have time for both, if it's possible.
Sure.
I did something. I tried to do a squeeze page, but I don't know if it took. And I tried printing out the information, and then it wouldn't print out right. You know, I meant to take a class at my brokerage, but I didn't get in because of the
Is it
fact
okay
that,
if I look at your account on
sure,
that? Okay,
you,
let's do that. Carol. Henderson. Oh, oops, if you're in the right place, Heather.
and I have a, do you, yeah, I just need to landing and
Is
squeeze
your
page.
email an iCloud email?
Yes, Henderson info.
Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
All right, here we go. So you can actually see if it took. So if
Okay.
you go to your squeeze pages,
Mm-hmm.
right here where it says history,
Mm-hmm.
you click on that, you can see any squeeze pages that you've made. So it looks like you've made 8 different squeeze pages.
Oh,
So for instance, this one, well, this is pretty old. Let's see. Here's one. You made a single property squeeze page yesterday.
yes.
You made it twice, it looks like, for
No,
this.
one is
Well,
one lot, and the other is 2 lots.
oh, I got you. Okay, 2
Mhm.
different lots. Yeah. So if you can view it, which it will take you to where it goes.
Where did you see to view it? Where did you go?
Um, right here. If you click view,
Mm-hmm.
it'll take you to where it would go, which is this is where the link goes. Or if you
Mm-hmm.
just want this link,
Mm-hmm.
you would just copy the link.
Okay.
So you can always see your past ones in your history. You
Sure.
can't edit them. Like if you wanted a different, you'd have to make a new one, but you can go in and see when you said if they quote unquote took, they will
Okay.
be there for you.
Can you
And then you
can
can
you
always
go
go
down
back.
to that third one, sweetheart, and see if it took the third one? Yeah.
This one right here. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they all took. Question is,
So I did it right, I guess.
you did it right. Yeah.
Oh, great.
You did it. You did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have another listing. It's 17635 Crestline Drive.
You want to do a
It's a
squeeze?
lease. It's a lease.
Okay. So if you want to build the squeeze, then we're
Mm-hmm.
going to build. So again, you could do multi-property, which would be like, oh, this is the criteria it has to fit to be on it. But if you want to do an actual property, you're going to do single
Mm-hmm.
property, which you did.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do the MLS ID or what'd you say the address was?
17635 Crestlines. There it is. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. And so, yeah, and you can say, okay, it's really important if you're looking, if you're looking to get a lead off of this,
Mm-hmm.
then you want it to be immediate. Because if you're doing multi-property and you have
Mm-hmm.
it set to 2, that'll be probably good because they'll see this whole list of houses. They'll be like, I want to look at that one, I look at that one, I look at that one. And on the second one, it's going to say, oh, you need to sign up, which is what happened to me here because it was the second one on your website I tried to look at.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just one property and you have it
Mm-hmm.
set to 2, then
Mm-hmm.
they're going to get to see the property you're advertising without having to sign up.
Oh.
So if it's just one property, and it's
Mm-hmm.
really about what your goal is, right? If your goal is for people to see that property and get the darn thing leased or get
Yes.
it
Yes.
sold, and you don't
Yes.
care if they sign up, you just want them to see it, yeah, go
Mm-hmm.
with 2. But if you're like, I want to get a lead off of this, then you
Yes.
would want it to be 1,
Okay.
right? And you
Mm-hmm.
would generate your
One
lead. But you did
immediate.
it. You did it right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll check down and you go, where is that? You check down there where it says property view. registration, where did you go to find, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
right here. So
Mhm.
this will let them look at, on the second property, it'll ask them to sign up. This one, they ask them to sign up like right when they look at it, which I did here. So you say, oh, you want to look at this? Sorry, you gotta sign up. That would be what it would look like there. For here,
Gotcha.
you wouldn't do that until I
Oh,
looked at a second property.
okay, so if I want them to look at it, I have to do, if I want them to get me their information and get a lead off of it, then
Mm-hmm,
then go intermediate.
correct.
Intermediate, number one. And
Yep.
the other one is just to look at the property, but can they call me or when it's to default, is it, can they call me or how does
Sure,
that?
like when they get here, here you are. They're gonna be able to see your number and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Um, it
That's the
just
squeeze
won't drop
page.
into KB Court. Hmm?
Okay. That's the squeeze page.
That's the squeeze page. Now for
And
a
where is it
landing
going? Is
page,
it going to Facebook or where, honey?
well, you got to put it somewhere. So like just by making it, it doesn't do anything. So
Oh,
here's your history. So here's that link.
mm-hmm.
You have to get people to that link. So yeah, I would go
Mm-hmm.
to Facebook. I would say, hey,
Put the
you know,
link there.
check out this land for sale.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you want to spell things right.
Yes.
Right? And it'll pre-populate it, and then you can just take this out. This will
Mm-hmm.
stay. And when they click on it, it'll take them to that squeeze page.
Mm-hmm.
You could put this on Twitter. You could put this on, Instagram. You can't put links on it, but you could,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. But you got to get it out in the world. You could put it into Facebook groups, all sorts of things like that, just to get it out there so that, people can find it and see it and click on it. But just by making a squeeze page does
Mm-hmm.
nothing. You have to put that link out into the world so that the world can click on it and then come back to your site.
Okay, and what do? You share it on there? You share it as the little buttons at the bottom, those little three dots on my Facebook page.
Well, like if you're on your Facebook page, you would just make a post. Like, here you go.
Oh,
You know what
okay.
I mean? As if you're
Mhm.
making a post.
And when they click on it, it'll take them to that question to put your email
I'll
on
take them
there.
right here. Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Thank you
Mhm.
so much for explaining that to me because I didn't know how to
No
work.
worries. The other thing is a landing page. And I like to use a landing page for things that I can't do in a squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do the light theme because I like the way it looks better.
Mm-hmm.
And so like if I'm not going to make a landing page for my listing, but I might make a landing page for something I'm giving away, like
Mm-hmm.
um, Portland relocation guide,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and I'm going to give them a free relocation guide,
Mm-hmm.
download instantly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I would change these to reasons why they want to download this instantly. So you could say, find the best schools,
Mm-hmm.
we list all the top places,
Mm-hmm.
um, discover the hot neighborhoods,
Mm-hmm.
find out what's established and up and coming, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure,
You could
sure.
either change these or you could double click them and make them go away. And
Okay.
then instead of see the list now, it would be, this is your submit button text. So it would be download now,
Mm-hmm.
changes it. And you can give it a hashtag like relocation. So when they come in, they'll come in with a relocation hashtag, what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And the
So
URL at the
they're coming
login.
for relocation or relocation up at the top. So do I have to put anything there, relocation or?
Yeah, so like if you had a relocation guide, you would put it on your Google Drive.
Mm-hmm.
I think I do have my relocation on here. Don't I? Portland relocation. So here's my relocation guide.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you share it,
Mm-hmm.
now you want to be viewer, not editor, just so they can view it.
Okay.
Copy that link,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to put it, where am I at? Right here, URL after login. So what that means is they put their information and they click this button. Whatever's
Mm-hmm.
in this spot right here is where they're going to be redirected once they click that button. So they'll
Mm-hmm.
be redirected here. And they're like, oh, I can read this guide. I can download this guide if I want to. I can open it in my own Google Docs, whatever I want to do. So
Mm-hmm.
you're giving them, the guide, and
Information.
they're getting the guide, but you just got, but once they do that, their contact information, their
Mm-hmm.
email and phone number will drop right into KV Core with this relocation hashtag.
Gotcha. So that's a hashtag right there, the
Yep.
relocation.
Yep.
So if I did like I have a hashtag, I love working with first time home buyers, or
Mhm.
number one, humble leasing lady. And do I put that there where it says relocation, number one, humble leasing lady, or that's a hashtag for me?
Yeah, they're not going to see this.
They're not.
This is just when they come into your KV Core Smart CRM.
Mm-hmm.
See, these are, I see what you did here. I help first time home buyers. They're not seeing this like you're seeing. This isn't really helpful because they're not seeing it. A hashtag is more for you to categorize them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, and I see what you're doing. You're thinking it's like a hashtag that, like, if you posted this out into the world, it would put a hashtag on the post.
Yes.
And that is not what that does at all. What it does is if they sign up here,
Mm-hmm.
they will come into your CRM with this hashtag attached to them as a person so that
Mm-hmm.
oh, they came in because that's how they got into my system, is
Mm-hmm.
they signed up for a relocation guide. And I know that because they came in, that relocation would be one of their hashtags if they did that. So this, I help
Oh.
first time buyers, the builder's agent, like this stuff. It's not, you don't want this in in KV Core. It's not helpful to you at all. You would put
It's
that
not?
hashtag. No, this is because this is a category. You're categorizing your people. If you want,
Mhm.
I help first time home buyers. Then on Facebook, when you make this post, then you would say hashtag, I help first time home buyers,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
But
mhm,
it's not spelled right, but it's a different thing. Like, you're thinking hashtag in social media world, and
mhm.
what these hashtags are like buckets in KV Core to categorize the people that you have in there, if that makes
Gotcha.
sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. I've got time. We're almost out of time. I'm going to Barbara raised her hand again. So
Yeah, thank you so much. Is
you're
it Heather? You're
it's
Heather?
Heather. Yeah.
Thank you, Heather. Go ahead and help someone else. I just want to stay in and
Yeah,
listen.
absolutely. Okay, go ahead, Barbara. Oh, Barbara. I still can't hear Barbara. If you want to chat in, Barbara, and let me know what's up. And then Phyllis, in the meantime, if you want. Oh, you didn't raise your hand. Okay.
No, I
Phyllis,
did.
do you
Oh,
have a
yeah, I
question?
was wondering what else would you use a landing page for? Like a relocation guide, first time home buyers? What else would you
Um,
suggest?
oh
And
gosh,
where would you put it?
if I can make it in a squeeze, I do that. If I can make it in a squeeze, I do a squeeze. So it's a list, any kind of list of homes or
Right.
anything like that, I'm doing it in a squeeze. For this, I'm giving away something. They're signing up for something, like sign up to receive my newsletter. Sign up
Oh,
for
that's a good
information about this neighborhood garage sale. Sign up for my client appreciation event. Those kinds of things is what I would use a landing page for.
one. Okay,
Yeah. Um,
that
you're either
helps a lot.
you're either giving them something like a value, like a guide or something, or they're signing up for something to receive later, or signing up to attend something, or that
And you
kind of
could
stuff.
put that like in a Facebook group to get them, like, even if it's like home decor or something, like my home decorating guide or whatever. You
Yeah.
could, anything that would interest them. Okay, I
Yeah.
got it. Thank you
Yep.
so much.
Yeah, or like checklists, this your, home selling checklist guide, or, 5 things to do to get your home ready to sell, or whatever it is, you could do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And then they don't feel like, they're obligated to you or anything, but you're getting that they're interested in that.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then you can get them all in that automation, the listing alerts, all that stuff, and, get
Right.
that going. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're very
I wanted
welcome.
to ask you something else.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
set up my KV Core, but I don't know if everything's integrated right, like with my Facebook. I also signed up for API, which I don't even remember why I did that, because you ever feel like, well, I'm just starting to do this full time, so I feel like I'm getting all different information and I'm not sure if everything is going right with my KV Core, if everything's integrated right. Is there a way that somebody with KV Core can just look over my site? Can I request that?
Hmm.
That I set up like with API and like I'm not missing anything. You guys don't
And
do that,
there's
right?
a couple options in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Is our setup service. It's under done for you. You might not want to pay for this just because you might have already done it.
Yeah,
But
I
with
did
this
set it. I
service,
have it all set up. I like the way my website looks. I got all my
okay.
contacts in there. Things are,
Could do a help session. Um,
oh yeah, that's
no,
a good idea too.
not coaching, because that's an hour long and more expensive, and you really wouldn't need that for what
Or
you could
maybe
do.
a help session. And then when I come across it, I didn't know you even had that.
Yeah, so it's just a live help session. It's actually I'm the one that does these. So if you wanted to come see me, just 30 minutes, I can, help you get everything set up. And
And
also
you could
I
actively
can go
look at
through
my
it.
KB
Yeah.
core, right?
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. Uh-huh.
All right. Perfect. That's very helpful.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Um, you're welcome. We'll love it when I get questions at the end. This is great. Okay. Um, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna stop my share. So thank you everybody for coming. Again, this will be up on Facebook and probably on YouTube in the next like 24-ish, 48 hours max. And so come see us again next week. Next week, I'm going to be doing one on doing some retargeting ads, using everybody in your database to make a custom audience on Facebook and retargeting them with kind of top of mind stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing next week. I'm not sure exactly what the trainers are doing next week, but come see us and come with your questions too. Okay, if anybody has anything else. Oh, Carol raised her hand again. No, she didn't. Okay. Oh, she did. No, she didn't. Oh, Carol, what are you doing to me? Carol, do you have any questions?
Yes, I have a question. When is your class next week? I want to come to it. And can you help us? Um, what was that you just said about Facebook? You could help us to draw in leads or from Facebook?
Well, there's lots of different ways to get leads from Facebook. The easiest way is in the marketplace and doing our social leads. But next week, what I'm going to be showing is exporting all of your leads out of KV Core, putting them into Facebook to create what's called a custom audience, so that how like when you look at go online, you look at like Nike shoes, and then you all of a sudden start seeing Nike shoes everywhere you go
Uh-huh.
online. It's the
Uh-huh.
same kind of thing. So like, because they've been to your website, because they've signed up, we're going to retarget them on Facebook. Now it's an ad. You're going to have to pay for the ad if you wanted to do it, but you could give them more stuff about you. So they're kind of seeing you on the regular. So you're sending them stuff from your database, but they're also seeing you out on social media. So we're going to show how to do a market report video that's got your pretty face on it, and they can see that when they're out and about on Facebook and actually Instagram as well.
Okay.
All right.
You. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. Okay.
And when
Oh, sorry. Sorry, you want to know when it was, didn't you?
what the class again? Central Time?
So on your dashboard, if you go to the live training calendar,
Mm-hmm.
if you're in Central Time, just click Central.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our KV Core Success Meetup, tips, tricks, and Q&A. And the Wednesday one is the one I'm talking about. So it'll be 1:30 for you on Wednesday. We do them Tuesdays, Wednesday, and Thursdays. The trainers do Tuesday and Thursday. But the one I'm talking about is next week. Okay.
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 Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your week. And I hope that I hope everybody learned something and can get every single person on the listing alert in your database. Okay. Take care, guys.